Greetings, true believers. It's your pal Spider-Man, and we're back for another video, but this is a different kind of video. I'm gonna do a mail call. I got a box open here from Maggard razors. Super excited about getting this box, so thought I would do a quick video showing you what I got. First, just a word about Maggard razors. I know everything going on with this whole COVID-19 thing. Lots of people are having delays in shipping. Some of the retailers are just slower to get stuff out. I know, not to name names, but I'll name a name. I know a lot of people have ordered stuff from West Coast Shaving, and they've gotten delays. Like, they order it, and then a few days later, it still says, like, pending shipment. And I know it's not just a few people that have had that problem. Maggard Razors has been awesome. I know they've scaled back the number of employees that they have working. They're not doing any walk-ins anymore. They've closed the store down. They're just got a skeleton crew. But I've ordered now twice from Maggard's, and they get their boxes sent out the same day you order them. I ordered this box on Thursday at 2 p.m. and it is now Saturday, 2 days later, and it arrived at my door at 10:30 a.m. I knew it was coming, so I waited. I haven't shaved yet today because I was waiting for this box because I was so looking forward to using it. I'm sorry my camera's shaking. Every time I hit the table, it shakes my tripod. Under 2 days from the time I ordered it to the time I received it was less than 2 days. That is just outstanding, and that is what I've come to expect from Maggard's. Like, they're very prompt about getting their stuff out. Just really good. Now, I know they used to have a free shipping after $45, and they said it was permanent. But right now, that free shipping is no longer there. And I contacted them. I said, hey, are you still guys doing the free shipping? They're like, no, because of the COVID-19 and because of the situation and because we're skeleton crew and all this, that, and the other thing, they temporarily suspended the free shipping. But it is still a very reasonable flat rate shipping. This is a fairly large order. This is a heavy box, and it still was like $6 or $7 for shipping. So it's not like their shipping charges are inordinate to begin with. They're very reasonable. So I highly recommend shopping there if you need to get anything right now. So we're gonna open this up and see what we got. And my cat is kind of wanting to see what's going on. Fairly well packed. Honestly, I've got so much bubble wrap in my house, and I hate packing peanuts. And the fact that, get out of the way. The fact that they just used newspaper, I actually like. Newspaper is a great packing material, and it's something that I can just burn or recycle or compost. As opposed to bubble wrap, I don't like throwing bubble wrap away, and I reuse it as much as I can. I hate packing peanuts. Everybody hates packing peanuts. But this kind of packaging, I really enjoy. Everything in here, no damage. Everything's good. Nothing leaked. Okay, so here's what we got. I ordered some soaps and aftershave from Southern Witchcrafts. I gotta say, Southern Witchcrafts is an amazing, amazing soap. It's not your elite, it's not your top tier, but it's definitely an upper tier, a tier 1. On the cadre, we kind of use a tier 3, tier 2, tier 1, and then elite. Like, elite is meant for like your 1 or 2 soaps that are like above everything else. Absolutely spectacular. I kind of compare everything to Sterling soaps as a baseline. because sterling is very consistent. It's very well known across the board. So if you're like, hey, this is how it relates to sterling, everybody pretty much knows what you're talking about. I actually place Southern Witchcrafts above sterling. And that's not a knock on sterling at all. Sterling is great soap, super slick. But I love the soap. I love the lather from Southern Witchcrafts. It is a vegan soap, which means it has no tallow in it, and you would not know the difference. I know a lot of people are like tallow snobs, and they only want soaps that are made with tallow, because the lather can be different if you're using tallow as opposed to just using like vegetable oils. But there are a lot of good oils out there that when used right, they can be just as good as tallow. And a lot of people just don't give those a chance. But this stuff is great stuff. Awesome lather. So when this video is done, I'm gonna take one of these soaps. I don't know which one yet. I'm gonna figure out that now and do my shave of the day so you can see the kind of lather, but that'll be a separate video. But anyways, as far as if there's one company that I'm like, if I had to pick one company based on scent alone, it would be Southern Witchcrafts. I love all of their scents. If you like, I hate to use this as an example, but if you like horror movies, if you like the macabre, if you like the dark, themes in scents, if that makes any sense. If that talk about scents makes any sense. Southern Witchcrafts is where it's at. All of their scents are like dark and mysterious. If you're familiar with, Barrister and Man had Hallows and a few other of those type of scents. It's in that wheelhouse. Everything they make is just amazing. And I pulled out, I currently have four soaps, or maybe 5, from Southern Witchcrafts and 1 aftershave, because some of the scents, honestly, I don't want on my face for the rest of the day. But I do enjoy it during the shave. So I've only got 1 aftershave, and that is, what is it? I forget. Alchemist. I think it's called Alchemist. Because that's a very like basic, easy scent that goes with the whole line. So no matter which one I'm using, I can use the Alchemist aftershave, and I've got the EDT also. Anyways, I was looking, I pulled out all of my stuff to take a picture of it for a post on the cadre, and we were posting pictures of some of our favorite soap labels. And so I pulled out some of my Southern Witchcrafts because their labeling is pretty cool. They're old. They've changed their labels. Their old ones were really ornate but kind of basic looking, and now these all look different for each scent. So eventually I'll have to replace a couple that I have and get the new scents. Anyways, I realized, I knew that Southern Witchcrafts had a couple of scents that were new that I hadn't tested yet. I had tested all of the rest of them through samples and kind of at one point determined, okay, these are the ones that I like best, and so those are the ones that I got. There's a couple over that were like, I might use it, but I'm not in love with it, so I didn't get it. But I realized at this point that I just love the whole line. They do have what I will call one-note scents. They've got a few. I think they've got a lavender. I know they got a peach. They got a cedar. So those aren't like named like any certain thing. It's just peach and it's just cedar. Now those aren't like straight up like fruity, bright peach. It's a dark, kind of dank sort of peach. So again, it's with that theme. But I'm not super big on the one-note fragrances, and the ones that they do have just aren't in my wheelhouse. So I've tried a couple by sample, but never really got into those. But all these ones that are named and themed, some of them are based off of movies, off of old horror icons or horror ideas. Like this one is called Carpathia. I mean, that just, that just sounds ancient. Lycanthropy, which lycanthropy relates to werewolves. Samhain, which is, a name for Halloween, an old-timey name for that. So that's why I just went with the whole line. I now have all of their soaps except for their unscented. I forget the name of that one. It'll come to me. But I got these. So the ones that I've tried before, okay, Druantia. That one is one that I've tried by sample. Now, if you go on their website and you look up the scent notes, you'll see a laundry list of 10 to 15 different scent notes in it. On the label, they only list about the top 3 or 4. So that's just kind of what I'm going to go off of right now when I'm smelling these. So Druantia, it says cedar, oak moss, rosewood, and cypress. There's definitely a hint of the cedar right at the start, but it's mixed. I really don't like cedar by itself when it's a very prevalent note. This isn't as dark as kind of the rest of the line. It's actually sort of bright. Bright in a dark sort of way, if that makes any sense. Really hard to describe, but I do like this one. Like, it's interesting because a couple of these I decided not to get just based off of the samples, which I tested those like probably a year or more ago. And I'm from what I remember, I didn't like these as much. I actually do like this one a lot more now. It has like a spiciness to it. Like, it doesn't smell like bay rum, but it's got those spices in it. I'm digging it. That might be one for today. I don't know, we'll see. I think there's more to come that's good stuff. So lycanthropy, this is fir, lilac, musk, oak moss, and mildew. So very floral forward. Definitely get the lilac, which I love lilac. I'm not a huge floral guy, but Lily of the Valley and lilac are two of my favorite floral scents. Rose can be overpowering, and sometimes rose is good. And I do have one of my Southern Witchcrafts that I used the other day, and it does have some rose or rosewood. Maybe that's what's different about it. It's got rosewood instead of rose. I don't know scent profile, what one delivers and the other one doesn't. I'd say primarily what I get is the floral, but it's not super strong because, again, it's mixed in with everything else. I guess a little bit of musk on the back end. This one smells really good too. Again, it's a darkness, but it's got a little bit of brightness in there too. Samhain. Now this is one that I wanted to buy because I love Samhain. I love the theme. I wasn't big on the scent of everything. Like, I wanted to love this one as much as I did, but because of the scent, I wasn't big into it. It wasn't super off-putting. I just didn't dig it, and so I didn't get it. But then I decided, let's just go for it. So this is pumpkin, sandalwood, bourbon, and tobacco. And the reason that I didn't want to get it is because of the pumpkin. I'm not a big pumpkin guy. I do have one pumpkin soap from Oz Shaving, which is another good one to look for. Not quite as good as Southern Witchcrafts, but probably still in the same realm as Sterling, maybe a touch better, but some really good scents. And again, kind of following a theme of Wizard of Oz, so everything is based on something from the books and the stories. Now, if you're just looking at this, if you don't know, the name looks like it says Sam Hain, because that's how it's spelled, but that's not how it's pronounced. It's pronounced Samhain. So the pumpkin is there, and it smells very much like the pumpkin jack that I have from Oz. It is definitely in that same wheelhouse as that scent. I think the pumpkin note is slightly less prevalent in this one. But it definitely has still a lot of that same pumpkin spice sort of going on. So maybe that's coming from the sandalwood, bourbon tobacco, and whatever else is in it. But it definitely has some spice to it. So I know this is one I'm not going to use very often, but definitely come fall, this is going to come out and be used a few times. Because Halloween is my favorite time of year, my favorite holiday, and I really love bringing out these types of scents for Halloween. This is definitely a fall scent. I don't see myself using this much in the spring or summer. This is definitely a heavier fall, maybe winter type scent. But I just had to have it. I love the label. I love all the spider webs and the pumpkin and just everything about the looks. I love, love, love their new labels. Much better than the old labels. And on the old labels, it was sort of decorative around the outside with some like cryptic knot work, scroll work, sort of, but the colors were just muted. It was like a yellowish and a reddish sort of thing, and the only difference, one soap to the other, was the name, and that was it. Now they've gone to a similar theme, but each one actually looks different. It's got a different icon or key image down here, but even just the scroll work and some of the stuff around it is a little bit different. You see the letters all have some unique things going on with that font. That's pretty cool. You can see, so those two were kind of similar on the spider webs. You can see these two are a little bit different. This one has spider webs up in the corners. This one has them in kind of the opposite corners. So each label is a little bit different, which I like. It's a common theme, but they're different. Now, these are two that are brand spanking new to me. I've never tried these in sample. These are the two new ones. So Carpathia, I know this one is based on Dracula, and maybe, I don't know if it's Bram Stoker's original Dracula or what, but the scent was inspired by Dracula. Balsam, whetstone, exotic musk, and black tea. Ooh, wow. I was not expecting that. Very strong. Very dark. I don't know what I'm smelling. It's a very bold, very rich scent. It's not, I think it's that whetstone that I'm getting, which is a weird scent. I know a lot of people are using that scent now in some of their soaps, and it's like a brand new thing. Like I don't think anybody ever heard of putting whetstone into their scent a year ago. And now I've seen it in a few soaps, and it is weird. It smells like a whetstone, like if you went down to the river and just pulled up a piece of rock, totally clean rock, get all the mud off of it, but just get it wet and put your nose right up to it. Or if you're a honer and you've got your stones and you put the water on it and you get it soaked and you smell that stone, that's literally what this note smells like. And it's so weird that you can get that note out of anything. But that's not nearly all this is. But there's something right at the beginning that I don't know what it is, and then you get the whetstone, and then other stuff kicks in right after that. So it's got to be that musk. I don't know. Very interesting, but this is probably the darkest one so far, which, if it's inspired by Dracula, I can kind of get that. And Carmilla. Apprehensive about this one. I don't remember what the inspiration for this one is. I'd have to go look it up. First ingredient, Nag Champa. Monkey just hit my tripod. Get away. Nag Champa. I love Nag Champa. Anything that's sort of incensey, like that. That's totally in my wheelhouse and I love it. Second one is frankincense. That's the one that I'm not sure. Like that one could just make this a killer for me that I don't want to use, because usually anything that's heavy in frankincense I don't like, which is kind of like the Hallows from Barrister and Man. I think there's too much frankincense in that for me. I like it, I like the idea, I like the theme, but it's something I can't use very often because I'm pretty sure it's frankincense that's in it that I don't like. And I've had a couple other soaps that have frankincense in them and really just don't like them. And then amber. Amber's like a good, nice, warm note that I like in everything. So hopefully this all balances out. We will see. The Nag Champa is the dominant note here. I'm actually not getting any frankincense, which, whew, lucky. It's sweet. There's a sweetness. There's almost like a... don't get me wrong, it's dark, but it almost has a spiciness to it akin to bubblegum. Like, that's weird. Definitely the Nag Champa is there. Kind of got this little incensey vibe, but there's a sweetness that really, that's all I can describe as bubblegum. But that's not like a dominant note, so it's not like it just smells like gum. But I think this might be the one that I use today. This is very interesting. I think I like this one a lot. Really curious to see what other notes are in it. And then I got two aftershaves. So, like I said before, a lot of times there are soaps out there that you love and you enjoy using for your shave. But the scent from a soap usually doesn't last after you shave. You rinse off your lather, the scent notes aren't strong enough to stick to your face. It just stays with the lather. So pretty much, once you rinse off, you're done. So even though I might enjoy using these during the experience of the shave, I don't want to smell like this. I definitely don't want to smell like this all day long. I don't want to have that pumpkin-y, spicy note on my face all day long. So I'm never going to buy this aftershave. And I think a lot of soap makers realize that, and they sell, like 30% of the aftershave to 100% of soap. So whatever soap they sell, they only sell 30% of aftershaves. And I think that's why. It's because some people might love this for the shave, but they don't want to smell like that all day. So there's very few scents in this lineup that I actually like enough to want to have that scent on me and project the rest of the day, or for at least the next several hours. So I only bought the Alchemist aftershave because, like I said, it's a baseline scent for this line that goes with any of these soaps. So any soap that I use from their line, I'm going to be perfectly happy using the Alchemist aftershave after that. That being said, I went through the 4 or 5 scents that I do have, and I said, okay, do I like any of these enough to get the aftershave? And a couple of them I did. And so that, for one, is Necromantic, which is the one that I said has the rose in it. Actually, I said I didn't know if it was rose or rosewood. I think one of them has rosewood, and this one actually does have rose. So this is wisteria, rose, honey, and red wine. So very floral, but the sweetness from the honey and the kind of the tartness from the red wine really balance this out into just this very mysterious and intoxicating scent. And after smelling it a couple times, I'm like, yeah, I think I could get into this one as an aftershave. It is maybe a little kind of heavy on the floral, but I think once it dries down, it should calm down a little bit. And it's a little sweet, but same thing. I think on initial application, it's going to be strong. But I think after it tames down, I think this is going to be like a really good floral scent to get. So I was intrigued enough to get this one in the aftershave, and I'm thinking I'm going to like it. I might use that one today with the Carmilla just to try that out. Other one, Autumn Ash. I never thought that I would get this one as an aftershave, but it's maple, spice, smoke, amber, and cedar. Now, I think it's that that smokiness that really intrigued me to want to get this as an aftershave. It's sort of like the sweet smell of downed leaves in the fall. But it definitely has a smokiness. Like maybe you had a burn pile of leaves from yesterday and then you put some other leaves on top of it today and then it rained and it got damp. So it's not super smoky. Like I know Nurse Dave likes a lot of super smoky, like After the Fire, Texas on Fire, all these really smoky ones. It definitely has some of that in it. Now, this is probably my least favorite aftershave of the three that I've had from them, but I think it's gonna go well enough to use this one. So again, any of these three aftershaves that I have will go with all of these scents. So that's really why I wanted to get a couple more aftershaves, just to have some more options to go with this line, because I don't feel like I can use one of these and these dark scents and then go grab Aqua Velva or Skin Bracer and get something. It's like a completely left field change in the aftershave. I wanted something that would complement it and be similar, and I think I achieved it. So now, like I said, I've got all of their scent line, except for the one-dimensional ones. And now, as I go through these and try these out and use these, I'm going to see if any of these scents are ones that I might want to get one or two more aftershaves in the future to kind of complete the line. I'm definitely not going to get the Samhain, but some of these other ones, they might grow on me enough to want to use it. Let's just do a real quick sniff and see what I think right now, and we'll see if that changes later. So Carmilla, I could use this as an aftershave. Because of the Nag Champa, we'll see if how the scent changes when I lather it, because when you add water to it and you lather it, you bloom it, certain notes are gonna start coming out that weren't there before. But right now, I actually really like this one. I would say this one, I would get the aftershave. Carpathia, no. I don't think that I would want this one as an aftershave. I think that Whetstone, I just try to imagine if it was a cologne and I just sprayed this on and this is what I was smelling from a cologne. I don't think so on this one. This one might change, but right now I don't think so. Lycanthropy. Again, this is a very floral, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. Lycanthropy is a maybe. Durantia. Man. Initially, I would say no, but it could be an all right. It could be an all right one. Definitely the Samhain, no way, no way, no way. So I got two, maybe three of these that actually I might want as an aftershave, which kind of, if I did get those, it would put me above that like 30% of the entire line, which is kind of interesting. But that is the box opening. I know this video's gone on super long, and if you're still watching, thanks for joining me. Thanks for participating in this box opening. Really seriously recommend Maggard's, outstanding service from them. And if you haven't tried Southern Witchcrafts, definitely check them out. Really good soap, pretty good bargain. They last quite a while. It is a softer soap, like a Crope, a little bit harder than a Crope, but pretty good stuff. So check those out. I highly, highly recommend it. And if you haven't checked us out on the Shaving Cadre, check out that forum. It is awesome. We're getting ready to wrap up bingo. We're doing a few other fun things like Zoom calls every week. And that's just a great way to get to know your fellow wet shavers outside of the forum. Just have fun, play games online with each other, and just kind of get to know each other. It's much better than just watching a video of somebody or seeing pictures of them online. You really get to know people a lot better on the Zoom calls, and it's amazing. We do that once a week. It's been on Wednesday evenings right now, and we'll see how that goes from there. We might have to add another day here, but we're having a great time with that. So check us out on theshavencadre.com. I'm Spider, and we'll see you guys later. Bye.